So this is the sUAS VuIR Touch P4 for Phantom 4 or Phantom 4 Pro. It also works with Phantom 4 Pro Plus, just a little differently on how we mount the second monitor. So this is the case containing the Gimmera, the controller, and the second monitor. So you open the case. First of all, you see the second monitor here for viewing the FLIR imaging. And later on, I'm going to show you how to mount on the controller of the Phantom 4. Underneath the monitor, there are a few pieces, like the two antennas for the monitor, the adapter to mount your smartphone on the Phantom 4 controller, and this is the sensor, the downward sensor cover. It will cover completely the downward sensors of the Phantom 4 Pro, so that there's no problem with the confusion of the detecting. And then this is the sort of the bridge, and then where the Gimmera will slide in, like this. This is the Gimmera itself. You may have the camera purchased together with the order. So in that case, we will install the camera for you. But you have not. If you have not purchased it, it's best to send us the camera so we can install it for you. It's all in one piece. The batteries is here, and the controller is touchscreen controller is here. Battery is already installed. Just switch it on. Wait a little bit for it to boot, and then you can see it. Underneath here are the leg extenders for the Phantom 4 Pro. You need this to extend the legs so that the gimbal will not touch the ground. This is another piece of Velcro for the back of the controller, so that you can mount it on the Phantom 4 controller. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to mount the monitor on the Phantom 4 controller. Okay, so you want to extend the holder here on the Phantom 4 controller. You want to install the antenna to the FLIR Vue monitor. Next thing you do is you have this whole adapter right here, which contains a piece for holding the smartphone for viewing the DJI camera. So there are three prongs here. You want to align them up from this, and you go from this smallest top here. You work your way down all the way to the bottom right here. And then next thing you do is align the three holes here with the three prongs. I'll just show you on the adapter. Click it in, and then of course you want to press the top of the holder down. Oops, a little too much. Just like you do with an iPad. And then you want to secure holder with the screw on the bottom, so your smartphone will stay secure. There are two ways you can make this extend up, or the other way you want to extend down. Okay, and then push smartphone in for viewing the DJI camera. The last thing you do is this controller right here. Just stick it through there with the Velcro already in place. So you see here, everything is in one piece. You can fly, and you can watch the thermal video from here. You can watch the live video from DJI camera here, and then you can see the controller here. Alright, the VuIR Touch controller. I have here the Phantom 4 Pro Plus with a built-in monitor. Because of this, it no longer has its usual iPad mounting. So we have designed, even though this is not the final one yet, we have a design that, you know, have an adapter for the second monitor, so you would just slide in. The final design might be a little different, but the look is similar. So again, you have a DJI camera monitor here, and then the FLIR thermal monitor is on top. Okay, so everything is also in one piece. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to install the Gimbal and the accessories on the Phantom 4 Pro. I have here everything. Let's turn the Phantom 4 Pro upside down and install the legs. You can see, you can pay attention to the outside. Okay, first install the vertical part and then horizontal part. Again, outside should face outside. Vertical part, horizontal part second. And now the bridge, you can pay attention to that part, should be to the back of the Phantom. When the first time you install it, you might need a little extra force. Also, we include the screws so they can stay more securely. Use a 1.5mm hex screwdriver to secure them. And the sensor cover, all the sensors, downward facing sensors should be covered completely. Just slide that part in until you hear a click. Now the gimbal, you also just slide it in and hear a click, and everything is installed completely. Let me turn to the side so you can see it better. And now the front. Back to the back again. And here comes the VuIR Touch controller. Okay, just turn that on with a switch on the top. Also, the gimbal can be switched on with a switch on the back as well. Let me bring out the controller with the thermal monitor mounted. To turn that on and off, just press and hold the power button for a few seconds. You can go to the control monitor and tilt. Everything here is self-explanatory. You can do a lot of things, and you can see when the gimbal is removed, the Phantom still functions because the battery is inside. And you can do the palettes, you can do recording, etc. Everything is self-explanatory again. To turn that off, just turn the switch, and also the VuIR Touch controller. Now, let's undo everything, remove everything for easy backup. Just press the tab there gently, and use the other hand to push the thing. And now the legs, just pull them upwards when the Phantom 4 is upside down. Okay, and now the sensor cover, there's a little tap, press it down a little bit, and then push it to the back. You might want to undo the screws and then undo the bridge. Now everything's back. The Phantom 4 is, all the parts on the Phantom 4 has been removed. Now I'm going to show you how to install the Vue Pro camera onto the gimbal itself. So due to the compact size of the gimbal as a whole, for the obvious reason to keep it lightweight and small to fit on the Phantom, it might be just a little bit difficult to install the camera. So that's why I will explain in details. Okay, now here's the gimbal without a camera, and I'm going to show you how to install the Vue Pro camera onto it. Again, the right way it appears is that the motor is on the left side when you look from the front, and the camera is on the right side and appears to be upside down. So let's start. Okay, so you want to, first of all, you want to tilt the gimbal all the way down. All the way down. And then slide the camera in. And then, of course, you have to watch the wires here. Make sure they are not caught when you slide the Vue Pro further in, because the edge here is pretty sharp, and then it can cut the wires and damage the wires. Now install the USB plug this way, and then make sure the wires, the cable is tugged underneath the plug. Yeah, the cable right here is tugged underneath the plug. And now the control plug. There's only one way to install it. You can't mess it up. If you cannot install one way, then reverse it and install the other way. Now, the reason for tilting all the way down is you will be able to tilt the camera back to normal position again. If you do the other way, you won't be able to tilt the camera back. Now install the two screws that are included here. Please use a 1.5mm hex screwdriver to install them. Even though there are 4 holes here, we recommend using only 2 screws. Okay, now the installation is complete. You can turn it on. One more final notice is that the Vue Pro has a lens ring over here. But when you use FLIR, you should not use the lens ring because it'll add weight to the front and make the gimbal front heavy and makes the footage unstable. So here I'm going to show you how to use the FLIR sUAS app to change the settings on a Vue Pro to prep for it to work for the VuIR Touch P4. Okay, so you turn it on, you have this, and then remember to turn on the Bluetooth, and you can see camera listed here, and then wait for it to connect. So this is startup screen and serial protocol. By default it's set a map link. You would do that with the VuIR Touch Pro, which we will release pretty soon. It's best to use PWM, so you can take advantage of the other 2 PWM channels. The channel PWM channel 2 you will use for zoom, and then you would choose a number of states of 3. All right, and then go back here, and then PWM 1, you want to use that for recalibrate or the other functions. Okay, so now you have PWM 1 FFC or recalibrate, PWM 2 zoom, digital zoom, PWM 3 by default is stop recording, and PWM 4 is IR color palettes. All right. By default, also, it comes from factory, the camera orientation is right side up. But because we install the camera on a gimbal upside down, we need to flip the image. So everything on the screen here will appear right side up again. Also, remember the instructions on the VuIR Touch P4 controller itself. We also remind everybody to change the Vue Pro to use for it to be fully compatible with the VuIR Touch P4. Okay, so everything is also repeated one more time here. So after you have switched on the VuIR Touch controller, you will see this startup screen, and all you need to do is there are 2 buttons here. start here, all controls, or you can go back to the home screen and you have the instructions. You can scroll down, scroll up. Again, here you have the buttons for home screen and a button for all controls. Alright, so again, everything here is quite self-explanatory. The control battery, which is the battery of this, it shows you the meter, so you know when you would change the battery. The battery inside here will give you about 2 hours plus of runtime. The battery on the Gimbal here is the meter. Its meter also displayed here, and the runtime of that is about 25 to 30 minutes. It's safe to say about 25 minutes. So with this Phantom 4 Pro Plus, with everything loaded, VuIR Touch Pro, it will give you about 15 to 17 minutes of flight time. So, you know, the battery of the Gimbal will outlast the battery of the Phantom itself. Here again, you can see the control is tilting. You can either touch the slider here and tilt it, or you can press the button down or up here, and you can also tilt it. And then there's the record button. You can hear that sound, yeah. Alright, and then you can change the color palette right here, color palettes. So of course you set up the palettes using the FLIR Vue Pro app on the iPhone, iPad, or Android, and you can do the digital zoom over here twice as much, or 4 times, and then back to normal, and then do the FFC, reset the camera. The roll thing here, for you to control the roll of the camera, of the gimbal, but normally you don't touch it. It's only for you to adjust the horizon. Okay, I'm going to show you how to change the batteries inside a controller and a gimbal. So there's the same battery, and I can't stress this enough. Always turn off the controller and the gimbal before you even change the battery, and it has to remain off while you change. You can only turn it on when you're done changing the batteries. So that is a very important thing to remember. Yes, please turn it off before you even want to change the battery inside, and turn them on only after you've done changing the battery. Okay, so this is now off. So open the door here, and then you pull the battery out right here. You can unplug the battery right here and use the charger included in a package to recharge the battery. And when you're done, or you get a fresh new battery, you change it back. Reason of turning this off is you might reverse the polarity while you can't make it work that way, but you might touch it, and then might damage the controller and the gimbal. So always turn it off before you do it. Turn it on after you've done it. So you plug in, and then replace the battery, replace the battery door. That's it. Here it's a vertical one. Then you open the door, battery door here, and you might take the gimbal out and change it. Always, also, this has been turned off. Had been turned off before I changed. So okay, the same design. Unplug, and then replace the battery, recharge it, replace it, put it back in, and then push it in again, replace the battery cover, and that's it.